Hello, YouTubers. How you doing, guys and gals? Hold on a sec. I gotta turn down the world noise a little. So, finally, it has happened. I got a message from God to move on. My stupid phone holder broke. There's been a lot of bad things happen. Here's the deal. When I left New Brunswick, when I gave up everything, my apartment, my job, I took all my furniture and stuff and gave it all away. Gave away 90% of what I owned, minimalized, and I moved into the minivan that I owned at the time, and lived in that for a few months. Found this truck, and in the meantime, and got it worked on and ready. Took a little longer than expected, um, but that's okay. The pressure was on for me to get my part of the work done, and I mostly did. I didn't do the job that I would have liked, but whatever. I'm quite content, and the upgrade was wonderful. So now it's been a couple years. It's been 3 years altogether. I think. I think I got a 3-year memory on Facebook the other day. Then it was when I was in the other band. So I told God, I'm just going to give my life to you, and I'm going to do whatever it is that you have planned for my life. And I said, I don't need to be part of your story, God, but I need for you to be part of my story. And so I'm just going to follow the signs and omens, and I'll live step by step as you want, and I'll just follow you. And anyhow, it's been a different road, I also asked if along the way we can stop and I can spend some time with my son. That would be the greatest blessing ever. But I understand if I don't, and when I have to leave, I'll leave. I get it. Between me and God. God and I. So anyway, sure enough, I made it to Kingston, where my son is. That's where I am right now. And I've had a year plus here. But on the mark of the year, things started to go downhill. Just little things. And then I got an offer to do this sailing thing. And everything was still going smooth for a while. But I procrastinated it and put it off till next year, a whole other year. And everything fell apart. Big time. Just unraveling. And then my dumbass went and reacted, which is the worst fucking thing to do. See, when you're all in the spirit in this life, and when I was back in New Brunswick, I was able to work for myself still. So I was able to, I didn't have bills, but I was able to get like a day's work here, there kind of thing. Mow a lawn, do this, that, whatever. And it more than looked after me. And then I had unemployment for a little bit. So the, before, I guess, I had the unemployment, and then when my unemployment ran out, I had to go and do all these little odd jobs, and I saved up a bit, and I was okay. Um, anyhow, the lost my train of thought. I hate when I do that. Why I was talking about unemployment money and all that shit, I don't remember. Um, where I was going with that. I'll try to get back on track. Um, anyhow, here I am. The deal with God. He gave me the year with my son. Now it's over, and I got to move. So I've jumped it to. I my dumbass. I keep reacting. That's when you're all in the spirit. Back then, I was living in the woods. I had my own, not my own spot, but the land in the woods that I was staying on was owned by my family, and so it was cool, and it was way out in the woods, and I was able to work on the land for them to improve it, by just thinning it and getting rid of the dead trees, and I planted some stuff, made some gardens, filled in some spots, just whatever, right? Um, and made the trails to the beach, and so you wouldn't get lost down there. I got fucking lost down there one day. Anyhow, prayed to God in the woods, and he got me out like immediately after I prayed. Anyhow, the living like that, I was able to keep very connected and very calm most of the time. Now, being here for the year, working in all these different industries, having like the bosses and the rules and the schedules and the thises and the that's and the bills and the everything, and moving around constantly trying to look for different spots to fit and live and everything else. It's way harder to stay all in God and really read the signs and see them properly. So I've taken a step back and taken some breaths, and this getting my ass kicked really showed me. So that I remember getting my ass kicked last year when I first got here a little bit, and which it's a pattern, right? Anyhow, I just walked through the storm, and I was able to do that over and over. I had a few storms, and I just walked through them, and it all fell away, and everything went back to normal. And it was a different lesson to be learned there in each of those instances. Um, different tests about when to walk away and when not to as well too, right? Because that was where tests of endurance, standing against the trial to stay on the path. Now it's about um, knowing that it's time to move on to continue the trial. So got looking around and looking into it about minerals and gold and all that stuff. So that's part of what we're going to be doing. And I thought I'll learn some stuff and get myself educated so that I'm not having to learn all this stuff in the moment, kind of thing. So I've been going to mines, abandoned ones, and looking through the tailings and stuff like that, and never really found much, but learned a lot and learned about identifying different rocks and things, and that's what I was looking for. So that I did find a lot. And then, but then I bought a gold pan, and I got looking into that and investigating, and so around where I am, there's no gold in the rivers, they say, and that it's all in mines. And if you know somebody, there might be there's the odd one here and there that has some gold in it, but for the most part, there's no real amount of any gold in southern Ontario. And so I panned a little anyways here and there. I went to a beach where the soil was really dark, but it wasn't black sand, it was just dark soil. um, and then I went to a river that had like all bedrock and big cracks in it and stuff. um, I don't have a sucker to get into those cracks, and anything I did get into the pan and pan out, there was nothing. So anyways, I was working away on something else, a different project. I put a couple grass plants in the woods. I hope that's not illegal or anything. It's just whatever. Canada now. They're away from kids. Anyhow, and away from public and stuff like that. They're hidden and they're fenced in. Uh, anyway, so the sun was blocked by just a couple little tiny shrubs in the first thing in the morning, and I thought, well, I'll just cut down those couple things. So I went over and I cut down the couple things, and then I looked down and I'm standing in another brook right beside the other brook, and I thought, geez, I could probably harvest a little water out of this later. And I kicked the soil with my boot, and it was just as black as my hat. Anyways, so I panned out a couple pans, went and got a pan and brought it there and panned out a couple pans of it, and took the results to a gold buying place, and they got the machine you can put, and it'll test out your. I brought my silver there before, and he tested all my silver, told me how pure it was or wasn't. And anyway, yeah, sure enough, there was gold in what I found. You couldn't really see there was no size, but there was gold in it. It tested positive, 40%. And then when I was panning, I did see a fleck, and I was playing with it and screwing with it and playing with it, and I wasn't sure, and I kept playing with it, screwing with it, and I lost it. So then I went back to there and panned again and again, and I didn't really find anything. I had it tested; it was mostly iron. Um, but whatever. That was a sign to me, a positive sign that this is the right path. And there's been a few little signs like that where doing this boating thing is the right move, right? Because I'm really unsure about it, mostly because of my son. But I made the deal with God that I would leave my son, so I got to do it. And him and I have talked about it. He thinks it's amazing and cool, and has his life and his buddies and everything, and he's cool with it. A couple of years, it's fine. Him and I are used to saying goodbye anyways. We've had a rough go. And but we've had a wonderful year up until the last little while. I haven't seen him since, I've seen him, but I haven't really hung out, or we haven't done anything in a while. So it's and he's always off doing stuff with his buddies. Teenager now. He doesn't want to hang out with his old man. He wants to do teenager stuff. Go look at girls and stuff. So I get him once in a while, but not very often. Which is cool. It works out for both of us. Everything, everything's going to balance. And I'm hoping that 6 or 8 months into this, I can send for him and he can come and live on the boat with me there's an extra room and everything. And he can come sail around with us for 6 months or whatever, if we're going someplace where his mother will let me take him. And once I'm 6, 8 months into this, we'll have gotten a little better at it, the captain and I, and we'll know what we're doing, I guess. And have had some failures so we'll have experience through those failures. Anyway, so plans are jumping. My plan is now, I'd like to crop that grass plant that I put in the woods. So I'd like to stick around, but if not, I'm altogether willing to walk away from them as well. Just looking for that last little sign. I think I'm going to give notice to my work right away. I've already given notice, but it was for March. I'm going to jump that notice to September. September, October-ish, which will give me just enough time to pay off my credit card debt, hopefully, and then sell this van, which will give me the money to start across the country. So I was just building it in my head. I'm going to take and buy a piece of plywood, 2x8, and I'll cut it to 6, or yeah, I'll cut it to 6x2 or whatever, and then put walls, just decking all the way around it, and I'll use the 2 feet I cut off as the back wall, I guess. And then I'll put a tongue on it and hook it to my bicycle. And then I'm gonna get all my possessions down to fitting on that, and then I will get a drive somehow. I have a couple different ideas on this, but from where I'm at to the border of Ontario, or closer to northern Ontario, and so that I'm in the prairies, and I might be able to bicycle most of the prairies. I'm just trying to think of easy foods. I'm going to eat a lot of salads, I'm thinking, and it'll be the right time of year that it won't be freezing cold, but it won't be cooking, melting all my ice in the cooler all the time and shit like that. I'll be able to make it a long ways. And then from there, tent and stuff with me. I'll just tent myself across the prairies. I have my gym membership still, so I'll go to the gym for showers, just swing into some laundry mats along the way or whatever, and make sure I got some decently clean clothes and I don't look like a pig. I'll reduce down to just one of those little burners that you put on a propane bottle, so that I can make my coffee or fry up an egg, get some protein. I'm sure that I could, buy a pack of burgers and cook, 4 burgers up and eat them over 2 days or whatever. It's easier to even do chicken breasts. And if you cook up, 2 or 3 chicken breasts, you don't even have to reheat them. You can just eat cold chicken. It's good. You can eat cold burger too, but it's just not as appealing. But cold chicken, you can make a chicken salad sandwich. You can make wraps. You can do all kinds. So, and it's a little healthier as far as what you're putting with it. The burger, you're just bun and ketchup and shit. And with chicken, you're gonna make like a salad. I'll make like a salad of some sort, or a wrap, and put tomatoes and shit in there. So that way I won't have to cook all the time. Again, like I said, I can make coffee anywhere I want just by the propane burner kind of thing. I got that 1-2 foot wall going on the trailer. I might figure it out so that I can have a wind block right there to cook no matter where I'm at. And I know I'll figure that out. I'm going to put a little solar panel on there. I'll take my, I have one of those booster packs for your car or whatever, so that if your battery dies, you can boost it. Well, I'm just going to steal the battery out of that and hook it up to a solar panel. And then I have my eliminator, my converter, sorry, that it's like 2,000 watts or something like that. It runs skill saws and shit. But that'll give me power to charge my phone and to charge uh, batteries for my cordless radio, and if I need it, I'm going to take a drill and stuff like that with me, socket set. Um, but I think that's it for tools. Maybe a couple little hand tools or something, an axe. I'll probably take that. But for the most part, I don't really need. I'm not going to need a lot of tools. Uh, but I will take a couple minimalist tools, and then that'll give me my Bluetooth radio that with my cordless batteries and stuff, so that I can have a little tunes going while I'm biking and or driving or whatever. Because that's the other plan is my voice change. Holy smokes! I think I went through puberty. I'm looking at renting Home Depot trucks. Apparently, you can rent a Home Depot truck for the day, and it's relatively cheap. And then you got to replace your gas, obviously. But you can drop it off at any Home Depot in the province. It might be a fee along with that a little bit, but I'm not sure. But if I rent the truck at one place in the province, then I can drive to the last Home Depot in the province borders, drop the truck off, back onto my bike, and bugger off to the next Home Depot in the next province to get across that province, and so on and so forth. And that's especially like BC or Vancouver, like when you get out there and it's all mountains. I don't think I'm going to want to be bicycling those mountains. Apparently, my buddy from there, he was laughing about it. So that's the new plan, YouTube. That's my newest moves that I'm about to do. You guys will come along with me, anybody that watches. So stay tuned, like and share, I guess, if you're into this kind of craziness. Have a good day.